Have you ever felt like a failure because you are not perfect? What if I told you that perfection does not matter as much as many of us think? The truth is, your progress, no matter how small, is really what matters. It's what counts. And today I want to show you why. Many of us will end up giving up on goals because we cannot achieve perfection. Things like dieting, exercise, pick your bad habit or pick the goal we wish to have, and we give up because perfection cannot be achieved. And in our perception, we find or see society pushing perfection. We see it in social media, movies, wherever, at work. We see these people that seem to have it all together. And so then we feel that pressure that we don't have it all together. But here's the thing, it's a myth. Nobody is perfect. Pick the most successful person, the most stunning person that you can think of. That person has their struggles as well. We see the world around us, and there are so many people that we perceive as perfect. And when we chase after perfect, it can wear us out, lead to burnout, maybe even quitting. Progress is a series of small, imperfect steps. Progress is not one giant leap to the end where we all kind of wish to be. And mistakes and failures, they're not something that are absolute, where you need to quit, where you need to give up. Every slip up is an opportunity to learn. This may sound cheesy, but for real, this is how the baby learns how to walk. The baby falls. The baby doesn't know what to do. Well, the baby falls, and then the baby just insists on getting back up again. And that's you and me. We're trying this carnivore diet. We're trying to improve our health. And instead of quitting when we make a mistake, when we fail, we should get back up, learn from our mistakes, and try again. Please let me share with you something you probably already know. But 1% better is still 1% better. And when you take that 1% and you do that 1% again, when you're 1% better again, the next day that's 2% better. And then the next day that's 3% better, 4% better. What if you pushed to be 1% better every day for 1 year? How much better would you be? I'll argue a minimum of 300% better, because I'm going to allow that there's going to be some mistakes. It's going to take place. So from where you are right now, in 1 year, you could be 300% better. Well, what if every time you had an interaction with food, you pushed yourself to be 1% better with that food every time you engaged or interacted? I'll say interacted with food. What if you have to cook for your family twice a day? Well, that could be 600% better. Whatever you are now, make it better, 600% better. And then the next year, 300% better. That's 900% better. Not trying to mock you. For real, this is how it works. My students who would drive, they were 1% better, 1% better. And one day they passed a road test. And one day they've been driving for 3 years. And one day they haven't had a single crash since they got their license for 20 years. It's all possible. It's all real if we push for progress instead of perfection. This lesson took me forever to learn. Where I learned the truth of progress versus perfection actually did not happen in the carnivore diet. The carnivore diet for me came along later. And so I was able to apply this to the carnivore diet. No, where I learned this lesson was when I was a driving instructor. Man, I made mistake after mistake after mistake. And it was endlessly, constantly finding myself failing. And I found myself comparing myself to the other driving instructors who seemed to be way better than me. Not to mention they had huge experience. 33 years, 23 years, 18 years, 15 years, on and on and on. And here I come in, I've got like 1 year, 2 years of experience. And I didn't see that my failures, my mistakes were an opportunity to learn. Now, I was, blindly tenacious. Every time I failed, I tried again. But not because I understood this truth. It was because I was so desperate to hold on to the job and to please my bosses. Not to mention, I was desperate to give the students what they needed. But I saw myself as a terrible driving instructor. I saw myself as a failure. But teaching those students and them coming in with a similar attitude that I had to tell them the truths that I'm now sharing with you. And as I told them slowly but surely, that message came back to me. And then listening to wonderful people through books, sermons, eventually YouTube, I suddenly realized that what I was telling those students applies to me. And what applies to me, I pray this doesn't come across arrogantly, it applies to you. Perfection is not what we ultimately will achieve. It's the progress. And as I saw those students, they made a right-hand turn. It was a horrible right-hand turn. And I should go this way because for me, that's to the right. And they would be wide and it wouldn't be correct. It would be a terrible right-hand turn. But they made a right-hand turn. They went from going straight into the direction of going right. They did not touch a curb. They did not touch a car. They made the wheel spin or steer the correct direction so the car could turn the correct direction. That's you and me. Did we put meat on our plate instead of carbohydrates? Boom, that's a win. That's a win. I'm not exaggerating. Remember the baby that could barely walk at all, but we celebrated their stumbling, messy, terrible walkability because they made it from one couch to another? Did you remove the carbohydrates from your plate and put in place another piece of meat? Boom, that's a win. That's a win. That's progress. That's success. Oh, wait a second. Did you fail today? Oh, you failed. And you ate the food that you weren't supposed to eat. Okay, but now you know your triggers. Maybe you should not go into town when you're hungry. Maybe you need to shift when you eat your meal. Who knows? Maybe there'll be something to learn. Like for me, I had to realize that I got to stop comparing myself to these teachers that have been teaching for 30 years. I've only been teaching for 2. That's not a fair comparison. But did I teach a student how to stop the car? Did you remove the pasta out of your house? Did you put meat, fat on your plate while somebody else put something that you're not supposed to eat that you're not supposed to eat on their plate, and then you ate what you're supposed to eat? That is a victory. That is progress. It's small, it's little, and it's real. I apologize, I get so passionate. I'm not trying to lecture you because I can see myself failing the same way. It's what I did. I failed and I'll beat myself up. I believe in you. Yes, I actually believe in you. I do not know your name. I have never met you, and I believe in you. You can do this. You are worth this, and you will succeed. You can succeed. If only you do not give up. We are not defined by our mistakes. We are defined by our power. And the choice to get back up, to stand back up, to try again and learn from what we did, that's character. And we are judged by our character. Get back up. Yes, you failed. Yes, you did. That's real. That really took place. We need to acknowledge it. We need to own it, be responsible for it, learn from it, and stand back up. You can do this. We are judged not by our mistakes, but by our choices that we make after those mistakes. You're doing better than you think. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the correct direction towards something incredible. Hey, I thank you for watching. I wish for it and dream for your success. And until the next video, bye for now.